One mistake I made for a long time in cold email was asking for meeting too early. I would write an email explaining the service, add a case study, and then end with, "Are you available for a 30-minute call this week?" At the time, it felt completely reasonable. I had explained what we did. Uh, I believed the service was relevant, so the next step should be a call, right? But after doing LinkedIn and email outreach for more than 5 years, I have realized that this is often too big and ask for the first email. Think about it from the prospect side. Okay. They don't know you. They did not ask to hear about your service. They may not fully understand the problem you solve yet. And within one email, you are asking them to open their calendar and give you 30 minutes. Mm. Even when the offer is relevant, replying can feel like commitment. So they do what most busy people do. They leave the email unanswered. This does not always mean they are not interested. Sometimes the next step simply feels too big. The purpose of the first cold email should not always be to book a meeting. The purpose can simply be to start a conversation. So instead of asking, "Are you free for a call?" You can ask a smaller question like, mm, for example, you can ask, "Is this something you are currently working on?" Or you can ask something like, "Would it be useful if I shared a little more context?" Or even, uh, "Is this handled by you or someone else on the team?" So these questions are much easier to answer, right? The prospect does not need to check their calendar and then answer these questions. They do not need to make a serious decision. They can reply in one sentence. Once they reply, you have a real conversation. You can understand their situation. Mm, you can ask what they are currently doing, and you can explain the offer in a way that is relevant to their problem. And when there is enough interest, moving toward a meeting becomes more natural. Now, this does not mean you should never ask for a meeting in the first email. There there are situations where a direct meeting request can work. Maybe the prospect already know your company, or maybe you have a very strong referral, or maybe there is a clear buying signal. Okay. Or maybe your offer is so specific and relevant that the next step is obvious. But for most cold outreach, especially when there is no existing relationship, I would start smaller. Another mistake is making the email too long before asking for the call. People add the company introduction, service detail, features, client, pricing, and then a calendar link. That is a lot for a stranger to process. A better first email usually needs only a few things. Why are you contacting this person? Uh, what problem do you help with? Right? Why could it be relevant to them? And what is one easy question they can answer? For example, instead of writing, "We are a complete outbound sales agency offering lead generation, campaign management, data scraping, email outreach, copywriting, appointment setting, and would you be available for 30-minute call?" You could simply say, "We help small B2B teams generate qualified leads through LinkedIn and email outreach. I noticed your team is selling into specialized market, so I thought this might be relevant. Is outbound something you are actively working on right now?" The second version does not force the prospect to make a big decision, right? It simply invites them into a conversation. And once someone replies, your chance of getting a meeting becomes much higher, because you are no longer a complete stranger. So before launching your next cold email campaign, check your call to action. Are you asking for too much too early? Could the prospect answer your question in a few seconds? Does the email make it easy to reply without making a commitment? The biggest lesson is simple. The first cold email does not always need to book the meeting. It need to earn the reply. Make the first step easy and more people will take it.